Demand has recovered in most areas back to pre-crisis levels, not everywhere. But the net consequence is that we are now in tighter supply than we were pre-crisis, and this is why prices have recovered very nicely. The good news is that there's limited new capacity coming in. The only grade which suffers some new capacity of any significance is in recycled containerboard in Europe. But what's been announced there over the next 3 years, and it only really affects 2013 and 14, is in our view less than the market growth will be. So we don't expect any major disturbance from that. So based on current supply-demand balance and the likelihood of supply-side growth, we're looking for quite a nice sustained period of good fundamentals.
Yeah, I suppose the question for investors is how sustainable is the current environment? I mean, I saw you talk quite a bit about pricing and you were able to increase prices to your customers. But for how much longer can you continue?
Well, it's really a function of supply and demand. So demand has recovered. Our view is that the strong growth rates of demand recovery in the first half of last year, which became more modest in the second half, is that those modest growth rates will continue. So I think the strong first half was the recovery from the crisis. The second half was returning to a more normalized demand type environment. So as long as the macro factors remain relatively benign, I think demand will continue to recover quite nicely. Yeah. The big disruption in our industry normally is supply. And as I said, there's limited new capacity coming in, and hence the confidence that the supply-demand fundamentals are attractive for some time.
Going into the future, David, if you are talking about, or if you're saying you're operating at around 95% of capacity, is there then a possibility that we could see maybe a bit of activity on the mergers and acquisition fronts across the industry, and therefore a danger that we're likely to see again capacity becoming an issue?
I think mergers and acquisitions would be highly attractive in terms of rationalizing the industry further. Yeah. The one problem in our industry is that it isn't consolidated enough. So having someone make some big steps that leads to higher consolidation would be attractive, I think.
Would you be players yourself?
We're not going to buy assets in Western Europe in our primary commodity grades. You know, in our value-added grades, so we downstream converting value-added. Western Europe is different, but in primary commodity production, uncoated fine paper mills or corrugated paper mills, you know, those we want to stay in the low-cost emerging markets. So we're unlikely to be a lead player in the new consolidation.